Okay, so as leaders, we're problem solvers, right? And we used to be very successful in doing that as long as we focused intensely on the problem itself. We sort of took a deep dive into the problem space and we stayed there until we found the right answer, that one way going forward. But the reality and the world around us is changing, and the problems that we're trying to tackle are often quite complex. They're ambiguous, they're interconnected. So there's no more like one best way forward, no one answer to the questions and the problems that we're trying to solve for. And also teamwork is changing in modern organization. We now see multiple functions working together, needing to integrate their work across silos. People are also geographically dispersed. We've seen that a lot during the past 12 months, right? Sort of accelerating. And also the relationships are temporary. I'm not part of the same kind of stable structure. I'm perhaps lent out to a matrix team, a process team, a project team. And no two projects are alike. So we're not solving the same type of challenges. We're not solving the same type of problems, but they tend to evolve and change from time to another. And the work that we're doing is often a bit uncertain and chaotic, not as stable and predictable as it used to. So a good metaphor of this is two basketball teams. So on the left, we have perhaps the most well-forged team on the planet, so the Golden State Warriors. They've been playing together for ages. They know everything about each other. They know everything about the opposition. They're very well positioned to sort of integrate the work that they're doing and to do something really good together as a team. And on the right side, we have a few guys who've just met an afternoon down at the court to play basketball. So if these two teams would meet, it would be the Golden State Warriors that would win, right? So if any of us would choose, we would rather be part of that team. But most of us don't have that luxury, because most of us work in an environment or in a team setting that resembles more the team on the right. So there's a very interesting researcher called Amy Edmondson, and she has studied teams who work in this sort of new way, which is more and more becoming the norm in organizations today. And she can see that the best of the teams display 5 really important behaviors. And she calls this concept teaming. So coming together in temporary constellation, solving complex problems together across sort of silos. And the 5 behaviors that the most successful teams display is speaking up. So they make sure that all the perspectives are being heard and listened to. So everything is sort of put on the table. And there's also a sort of mindful listening happening in these teams. So people are not just listening, waiting for a chance to talk, or listening, trying to build a straw man of what you're contributing with, but they're really looking for the best in each of these perspectives. And then we have integration. So when everything is said, when everything is listened to, it's not about finding the right sort of way forward. It's not about finding the smartest person in the room. It's about integrating and synthesizing this perspective, sort of allowing the room to be the smartest. And when we have something, we have an answer, we have something that we want to try out, we don't go for a big bang, but we rather go for experimentation and iteration. So we think big, but we start small, and then we scale what seems to work. And for us to know what is actually working and what is not, we need to do reflection. So we need to sort of step away from what we're doing, both mentally and sometimes also physically, and to think about, okay, so what did we think would happen, what actually happened, and what can we learn from the difference? And then we use those learnings, and we sort of start this cycle again of speaking up, listen intently, integrating perspective, experimenting and reflecting together. So this is what successful teams are doing in modern organizations. And this is one example of how work is changing. And we as executive leaders need to, of course, change with it, right? So there's a lot of stuff that we need to stop doing. There's a lot of old scripts and habitual ways of thinking and doing that we need to stop downloading. And we need to start uploading other things. We need to cultivate and strengthen and build new capabilities and new skill sets and new mindsets. And this is what the executive leadership course in Hyper is all about.